Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the south-afrifur podcast.
What was that?
Sorry, I don't know what that was. There was a sneeze in the background. It put me off.
That was the other person in my house. I'm sorry.
No worries.
You couldn't hear the countdown. It was perfect.
We're good.
Okay, let's start that again. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the south-afrifur podcast. You're listening to myself, Ike Wolf, and my co-host is Scratch
As
Wolf.
always.
And our guest for this evening is Pepper Coyote.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Pepper. How are you doing today?
Doing all right. In my place is currently 11 a.m., which isn't too early, but hey, it was a nice way to get myself out of bed before noon.
Well, it is a Sunday, and thank you again for joining us on a Sunday.
Thanks for having me on.
So, for the people who are listening who may not be acquainted with your work, maybe just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Certainly. I'm a musician in the fandom. I'm a singer, guitarist, songwriter. I play a bunch of other instruments kind of poorly to fill out the rest of the one-man band that I occasionally am. I go by Pepper Coyote on basically every part of the internet that you could look for me. My band's name was Look Left because I feel weird releasing under just a solo name because it feels like it's selfish. And you might know me more recently from doing stuff with a guy named Foxamore, who is another musician in the fandom. We've been doing it's a collaborative full-on album. We just recorded a thing in a studio, and it's all very exciting.
All right. And I mean, you've been in the fandom for the past 5 years now?
Oh, I think more than that. I guess it would be, I technically got in 2011, I think, maybe a little earlier than that. I'd say 2010, so it's easy to remember. So, about 7 or 8 years. I lurked for a long time, but I became active about then, in the 2010-ish range.
Mm-hmm. All right, and your passion for music, where does that come from?
It was the only thing I was good at in school, and then we were looking for, it was career time, and your counselor comes around and says, what do you want to do, little Billy? And you say, I want to fly an airplane or something. And they're like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I want to make money. And they're like, well, obviously, music teaching is the way, the career that you should follow. I was originally going to be like a chemist or I'm like, pharmacists make a bunch of money, and then I realized I'm terrible at science. So I kind of got rid of that, and they're like, what can I do? It's I can kind of sing a little bit. So I went to college for that, and then I hung out with other people who were very serious about music, and they got me to be actually serious about music, and then kind of all snowballed from there.
All right. And you're, sorry that I'm going to ask this question, but how old are you now?
I turned 26 a month ago.
Christ.
Okay. I thought you were older.
Everyone thinks I'm older. It's great. And pretty soon everyone will think I'm younger, and then I'll be sad.
No, it doesn't get better.
Yeah.
People used to think I was
what, you're
older.
40?
Yeah. No, people used to think I was older. Now people think I'm 35, and I'm just 29. Or turning 29 soon.
Yeah.
It's because I have this beard.
Yeah, I think
Get rid
it's
of
the
that.
beard.
I look like I'm 5 years old.
Yeah.
Huh.
It definitely helps add a few years.
A friend of mine actually, he's got a new T-shirt that says beards. Beards are the new six-pack.
They're a lot easier to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can be lazy and acquire a beard quite quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I can acquire six-packs easily also, but they are made of beer.
Yes.
Yeah. I wish I could acquire that right now. I would love a beer right now. It has been sweltering hot.
I'm very tempted to just walk off to the kitchen and go get a beer right now. I have some in the fridge.
Well, it's
Just
6 p.m. for you. It would make sense.
It's
You
8
can have
p.m.
one. 8 p.m. Goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How time flies.
Almost time for the new day.
And a new beer.
I tend to get wrapped up whenever I talk to anybody from other state or country just about what are your particular alcohol laws? Because there are certain states in the U.S. where you can only purchase it between certain hours of the day on certain days of the week, and I don't know if anybody else gets into that detail or not, or if the whole rest of the world is just a free-for-all,
No,
and the U.S. is weird.
technically the same for us as well.
Well, ours has
Certain
become
towns,
yeah.
certain towns or certain provinces have their own like drinking laws. Say in Gauteng, you can only buy beer on a Sunday up until 1 o'clock. On a Saturday, you can buy until 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock.
Well, yours even earlier than Pennsylvania's. You can buy
And
until
then
2 a.m.
throughout the rest of the week, it's until 8 p.m. as well. I've seen you guys. I've seen like these CCTV like things of the most horrifyingly drunk people walking into like a corner store,
A gas station.
trying to
Buy some.
open up. Yeah, at gas stations, trying to like both work the door and still stand at the same time, dropping the beer in like the process, and then just dying like just a little bit on the inside because should not be legally allowed to do that.
Yeah, our alcohol laws have been a little bit draconian, but they've started becoming a little bit more lax. Like I know some of our big retailer chains like Pick and Pay, their liquor section or liquor stores actually stay open until like somewhere between 3 and 5 on a Sunday. So they're doing the
It's
Lord's
3
work.
o'clock, I think.
Yeah, they're still doing the Lord's work.
I mean, part of me looks at stuff like, because if you go to Las Vegas, you're allowed to serve alcohol there until, I think it's until 5 a.m., and then they start right back up again at 7 a.m. So there's literally a 2-hour window where you can't buy the alcohol, or something ridiculous like that. And that city has not yet burned to the ground. It's fine. So I don't know why we have to have these weird things where it's like, hurry, we have to plan the party several days in advance to make sure it's open when we go.
Well, isn't it called Sin City for a reason? Like all that.
Yeah,
I guess. Their crime isn't even that bad up there. They have like legal everything, and it's fine.
yeah. I guess that's the reason why the crime isn't that bad.
Yeah, you can't get arrested for anything. It's all legal.
Okay, so like obviously you said that you released an album about a year ago. How's that been going for you?
It's almost 2 at this point. When I say I released an album that long ago, that's my last solo effort. I've been doing stuff with Foxmore since. I've been doing stuff with various other people, but my last solo attempt was an album called Transition that came out I think 2 or 3 Augusts ago by now. I don't know if I didn't really give you warning as to how I wanted to structure this, but I don't know if you have the tracks I sent ahead queued up, but that might give people context as to why they're listening to me talk.
Well, I mean, like I said, for us, we're probably not going to take a break. We're just going to continue talking throughout the entire thing. We'll play them afterwards if you want.
Oh, sure.
But you're more than welcome to actually talk about the songs themselves.
Well, if you guys want to hear, if those who are listening want to hear like all of my stuff at your leisure for free without having to the ability to pause and rewind, you can go to lookleft.us because that's my like band pseudonym. Lookleft.us, and you can hear like everything for free. You'll see the Transition album on there as well.
Cool.
That was the last thing I did while I was still kind of finishing college, so I still had a little bit of weirdness left in me. I hope I can find that again. But it ranges from like acoustic rock type things to I have a couple pieces that are straight up a cappella, like men's choir, but it's just me like 8 times, so like 8 of me singing a song a cappella, which is cool. I have a rap song on there because why not try that?
I've never heard of couple tracking.
Yeah.
But
I mean, what's it? That's something that Freddie Mercury was actually very good at. If you listen to one of his specific tracks, which was, I can only remember the lyrics right now, which is probably because it continues to go through different
You can't
levels.
remember a Queen song?
Yeah, they throw the Mercury choir on everything.
Well, I mean, there were the choirs like that, but I mean, there was that singular. The one that I find is possibly one of his best. He goes through Now I Know. No, is it Barcelona? No, it isn't. Is it? No, it isn't.
You're probably about to name a song I don't even know.
It's not that one. It's not this album. It is News of the World. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Okay, I'll find it just now. You guys continue talking.
Double tracking is basically the reason that I'm able to record, because when I was getting out of late into high school, I got a little bit of software and decided, hey, maybe I can play all my own stuff, since it's really hard to get a band to like come together and do things if everyone's not equally motivated.
Yeah.
So I sort of learned how to play all the instruments, and I started singing over myself. And now singing over myself is like my favorite thing to do.
Oh, well, yeah, that or just sort of produce it with sound samples if you're okay with it.
Please don't.
Singing over myself has proven very rewarding, and it's also a great way to make yourself a better singer. If anybody's like, how do I get better at singing? Record yourself and listen to it and hate it, and then eventually you'll stop hating it after like years of doing it.
Yeah, I can't even listen back to this freaking video without hating the sound of my own voice.
Yeah.
Christ, do I
That's
sound
what
like
I
that?
talk like.
Oh!
I'm okay with my singing voice. My speaking voice still bothers me a lot.
Why am I subjecting people to this?
That's how I feel every other time as well. I still remember we were trying to do transcription, which I still haven't gotten around to, Scratch. Please remind me again.
Yes.
Um,
I'm
yeah,
I'm
and-
horrible at it myself, so.
Yeah, now I'm going to the internet.
Are you still looking for that freaking Queen song?
Yes! It's the Prophet's song off of the Night of the Opera album.
Okay.
I don't even
Oh,
think I know that one offhand.
it's absolutely amazing. It's 8 minutes and 22 seconds of absolute pure bliss.
Cool.
8 minutes of Freddy.
Oh, we lost a legend that day.
Yeah, well.
I was 3.
Yeah, that day you could barely remember. None of us can remember.
Yeah. Nimbuko asks, are you only on Bandcamp or are you also on SoundCloud?
I have a couple things on SoundCloud. If you look for me on any like downloadable mainstream music service, you'll find me. I'm on Spotify. If you want to give me like a 1/30th of a cent per play, you can listen to me on Spotify.
Google
I'm on
Music.
Pandora, but Pandora you can't just like choose whatever. You kind of have to like shuffle through it. But you can go to Look Left Radio on Pandora. Apparently, I sound like Bob Marley because they keep throwing him in in the mix with me, which is cool.
iTunes or Google Music.
iTunes, yes. Google Play Store, yes. I think I was on the Zune Marketplace. If you have a
The
Zune.
what now?
I think that shut down. Can you even go and get Zune stuff anymore?
Please, find me the store that sells a Zune. For me, that would be like walking into a store here and finding Fresca.
I mean, like maybe the website's still up. Zune, Wikipedia. Look, you can get 120 gigabyte Zune for $500.
Wow. How backdated is
Walmart.
that thing? $500.
I mean, I think it was last made in like
12.
2013, 12 maybe.
And 500.
It got discontinued in June 2012.
Wow.
Oh, there's no Zune Music Store.
Gee, I wonder
Oh,
why.
Zune Music
Shock and horror.
Store. Is that gone also? I was in there for a little bit. I sold at least one thing on Zune, I'm certain.
What was
The
there?
Zune
I
Marketplace.
think Napster's also gone now.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
man.
well, there's a bazillion different things.
Oh no!
Should be I'm on Amazon. I wonder if you can like listen to my stuff for free if you have a Prime membership with Amazon.
Maybe.
Napster still exists.
Yeah, it's just a boring download service that no one uses.
Yeah.
It's nothing fun anymore.
After what was it?
James had-
Drummer from Metallica decided to do that weird ass like ad.
Stop stealing the music.
This not like what's it? Not 10 to 15 years after they were handing out their discs for free, going like, listen to our music.
Yeah, but as soon as you get exposure and get rich, then it's like, stop it! I deserve to be paid. Well, and to be fair, all
What?
artists deserve to be paid for their music, but there's a point where you can just go like, fuck it, just shrug off some of the sales. No big
Yeah,
dick.
If you're on a label, you don't even get that money though.
Exactly. That money goes
So
straight to your
weird.
label because they're the ones who produce the album, do everything for you. You're literally making money off of touring rather than anything else,
Touring and merch, yeah.
which is probably why Hailstorm has like probably not stopped yet.
Yeah.
They're like 24 months into their like first tour, going like, no, we're still going strong. Also, we're creating albums. Screw all
While
of you
touring.
people. Yeah.
That's kind of why I like stuff like, I mean, the on-demand services have their like definitely have their purpose and their niche. But that's why I like stuff like Bandcamp, which
Yeah.
I mean, you pay you
Probably
sort
the
of,
best website in the world.
yeah, you set the minimum price, and people can pay more if they feel like it, and then most of that money goes to the artist. I'm not sure what the breakdown is. You might be able to tell me, Pepper.
You get about 68 or so, 66%. They take like a third almost. If you include the Bandcamp itself, takes 15% of digital sales, 10% of merchandise physical sales because they just kind of host the thing and you like ship it yourself. And then like after you take out your PayPal fees and everything else, I still get almost 70-80%. It's amazing. If you ever want to buy anything from anyone and they have it on Bandcamp, buy it there for them if you are willing to use it. iTunes takes I get I think 62%, and everything else is I get about 2/3 or a little bit less. Bandcamp gives us like as much as they possibly can, and they seem to actually care about the the musicians, which I know sounds like, well, of course they would. It's like, nah, most websites,
Don't give a shit.
like, I don't feel that warmth from SoundCloud. I don't feel the, like, we're all in this together, dudes, that I get from Bandcamp.
Yeah. And how much does like how
Alright,
much would
enjoy
an
them.
actual producer like take? If you were
All of it.
I mean, all those deals are different, but if you have, like, a large label deal, you might get 10% of your CD sales, and that's after you, like, sell a certain number, and it can be like a book where, like, you might get an advance, and then you have to, like, pay back your advance, and then you get money. You know, that's why they push shirts so hard at concerts, 'cause
Yeah.
that's probably where they get the majority. It's like if you buy the like the $30 T-shirt,
They might get like $4 off of that.
they get a bit of that.
$30 T-shirt.
Even most of your touring stuff just goes right to your label or your manager or your producer or somebody. Which is why, like, I totally am in favor of self-publishing all your stuff. Like Foxmore kind of proved, you can have a professional-sounding thing if you're just kind of willing to put up the money for it. I mean, he had to raise $40,000 to do his thing because he hired like a live orchestra and a live choir, and he flew out like 6 different musicians like across the Atlantic Ocean. But if you're just like a rock band, if you have $5,000, you can make an excellent sounding piece of stuff if you know how to play your music.
Yeah. I mean, what's it? We have a musician here in South Africa named Uldar, who pretty much just produces from his room, and he actually sounds pretty good most of the time. He's like very, very good at like layering and things like that on his own. So he's.
Does he do what I would call acoustic music, like with instruments, or electric music, meaning like MIDI and plugins mainly?
No MIDI plugins. Anything. He does like acoustic guitar and electric guitar.
Oh, yeah. That's even harder.
And then he overlays his singing on top of that. And I mean, like, the thing is that like me and him actually at one point worked together on a song. Well, we didn't really work together. Somebody else like took my poetry and said, "You, please just turn this into a song," and so he did. And I kind of sat there going like, I've never heard this before, and I think I was crying at that point.
You did
like,
it.
But I heard the music and I was sort of sitting there. He's got a very, very long intro for it, like almost about 30 to 45 seconds. And then like he starts over the first line out of my poem, and I was just sitting there going like, wait, what?
Wow.
But yeah, so I mean, like, and I have utmost respect for people who do music, because that's definitely a passion more than it is,
A job.
Yeah. And if you can turn a gerb, I mean, your passion into like something that you can actually make money out of, it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time, and I see why most people kind of just the numbers get thinned out by how long you got to do stuff before you get any kind of like, I don't even want to say success, recognition. I don't know. Before people start going to your shows,
And buying your shit.
you get grind away for like 5-6 years, and you go, oh hey, people are coming.
You've played with Matthew Ebel before, who oddly enough, don't tell him I do this, but I take his In the Muck song, and I play that at the beginning of every single time I go onto the radio.
That is the perfect use for that. I'm sure he would love that you're doing that.
I mean, like what? He wrote that song back in 1992.
Oh my goodness, has he been around that long?
It's old enough to. I remember I was trying to look for furry music that was downloadable, and I found this archaic site that still had music from 1992 on it, and Matthew
VCL?
Ebel was on this site.
That's
No,
amazing.
not even VCL. It's this blank, the white page with links to the people, and the music has been uploaded onto there, and you can download it off of it. It's really, really archaic site.
Just like an Apache
So
server
it's like
site.
some guy's like private website.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's how I found pictures sometimes of like Anthrocon like 2, the second one of them. You'll find weird pictures of like that's what furries used to look like in the late 90s.
Ugh, the 90s.
There's some amazing fashion choices. Everyone was in like really like cut off jeans, not even jean shorts, like cut off jeans that are too high.
Mm. The 90s. We're wearing those really, really weird, like, shirts with these weird stripe patterns on them that was like red, white, green, purple, orange, and then would repeat the pattern.
I do remember we
Because
have a very
I
warped view of the 90s where we came from.
remember I was in America between 93 and 97.
Of course.
I had terrible, terrible sweaters.
You could also just go to Australia now and see the American 90s.
Oh, snap.
They've barely changed.
Yeah.
But their ads have become funny.
I was actually watching the cricket today, and apparently it was ESPN that was streaming it, and all I get is freaking American adverts and Geico. How often does Geico just throw money into things?
We were trying to make the joke that any ad at this point, like with American advertising, it could have any. You could interchange the first half of them, and then you just choose in the second half which company it's
Yeah.
advertising for. Like the first half is irrelevant. It could be anything. You just show whatever you want, and then you cut out with. If you're a blah, you do blah. If you're looking for car insurance, you call Geico. It's what you do. Like it could be
it's
any
it's what you
first
do.
half. We're like, all right, we have Vikings, and they're in a drive-through. What's gonna have? Is this a Geico ad?
Yeah.
Is this a TurboTax ad? What's gonna have?
Yeah.
They're
They
the
try to
best
show the
Geico.
most. It's
Yeah.
like they're taking old YouTube videos. Like they take the YouTube style of let's just do something that doesn't have to make any sense. It's just kind of visually interesting, and then just throw our logo on the end of it, and that's your ad.
There's a British ad that does pretty much exactly that, which starts off with one person singing, and like sort of what seems to be like a flash animation version of this girl, and this eventually turns into this massive like group of people all singing together, and I still don't know what the ad's about. In fact, what was the ad? It was "What does it do?" or something like that. It was some sort of website that they were trying to like advertise. Yes, confused.com. And I was
Trying
what
to
the
viral
hell?
market it
Exactly.
by purposely giving you no info. That's what GoDaddy ads used to be. They come on, it's like GoDaddy, and they just show like half-naked ladies and be like GoDaddy, and give you no info as to what the site was used for.
Yeah. And then, of course,
So,
there's Nando's that we can speak of for South Africa.
Yeah.
Nando's. I didn't go to Nando's when I was in London. Everyone told me I should have.
There's a Nando's in...
Yeah,
there are Nando's branches in the US these days.
Are there? I should just find it.
There's one...
In South Africa,
Yeah.
like Nando's is considered fast food.
Mhm.
Nando's
Uh-huh.
in Britain is considered leisurely waiting for food.
Guess what? Guess what?
Because it's not fast enough.
What?
Yeah, guess what's near my house? You speak of it like that. Guess what's near my house? A Nando's
Burger King.
drive-through.
Burger King.
So a Nando's drive-through, which will probably take you about 20 minutes to get
No,
your freaking
it's
chicken.
fast. It's fast.
So it's either that or obviously the chicken's been waiting there for the past 20 to 40 minutes for you to pick it up.
Either or, it still blows my mind that Nando's have actually started doing like drive-throughs. Like, oh my god.
Nando's has
Are you
always
saying
had
that-
drive.
No.
I had Nando's drive-through back in 1997
Where the fuck
in
were...
Are you
Gauteng.
saying that is food speed just much slower in South Africa?
Yeah.
Not particularly, actually.
Just Nando's takes forever?
Yeah, just Nando's usually
Yeah.
takes forever.
If you go into the into the area, like you walk into the store and you ask them for chicken,
You will sit
be
there.
willing to wait for about half an hour. They also some of them have a booze license, so
That's good.
technically you could literally just sit down, have a beer, finish the beer, and probably still be waiting for your chicken.
Maybe.
I'm sad I didn't go now. I didn't go to any chain restaurants while I was there. It was kind of sad. I didn't see many chains. It weirded me out. If you're in the U.S., you can be in the middle of New York City and there's still at McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell. In
So,
London, I think I saw one McDonald's the whole time.
With your like collaboration with Fox, for instance, I mean, you guys went to Abbey Road, and I know that I saw a couple of pictures of you guys there. And like, how did that go? Like, how was that as an experience? How was Britain as an experience, maybe?
It's hard to overstate how significant that seemed as a point in my life. It seems like that was like what every piano lesson I've ever taken, every class, every choir I've said, and it seems like that's what it was like leading up towards. That's what the end goal. And now it's sad because I'm not that old and I have a lot of time left, and I hope I haven't like pinnacled and peaked, hit the coolest thing I'm going to do.
Doubtful.
I was.
Like, you could always play.
You could play that
What's
same
it?
windy rooftop.
That would be fun also. Do a roof show.
Yeah, do Fiddler on the Roof. Why not?
The experience of singing in a studio for the first time was really cool. I thought it was going to be a lot harder than it was, but I seem to have accidentally surrounded myself with highly professional people, and we just got in, did some takes, and moved on. There were no big emergencies of, we have to redo this a million times. Everyone knew what they were doing, and it was weirdly comforting. I would highly recommend performing music in a studio if you happen to have someone who will pay for it for you.
Yeah, as long as you don't have to fork
Fair
out
enough.
yourself.
Fox got a big
actually
Kickstarter going.
there's a you could always play the Odeon. That would be massive.
Odeon? What even is that?
It's a
I'm
theater.
Googling now.
I think there's one in Britain. I know that
Odeon.
Iron Maiden's played that. The Hammersmith, the Odeon Hammersmith.
Oh, there are definitely larger things I could do, but realistically that I will actually get to do. I don't know how much longer that list is.
Well, I mean, like I said, like playing the Hammersmith is definitely one of the things that if I were a musician, I would definitely want that to happen.
Maybe furries will just like jump insanely into the mainstream and then suddenly we're like in-demand performers and we're playing
I mean,
Yeah.
You
large
could always
venues.
open for Matthew Mole.
Who?
Matthew Mole, he's a South African singer. He's apparently playing a school concert here in
Fuck is Matthew Moore?
Swartkop.
See,
Yeah.
that sounds fun.
Swakkel.
When you say school, what age range do you mean?
No, not Swartkop, Swartkop.
Oh.
Blackhead.
I was gonna say, why Swakkel? That's nowhere near you. Sorry. My bad.
No, I'm not going to Swartkop, man. There's no way. That place is too hot, too out of the middle of nowhere, and...
No, it's nice. They have the Crystal Gallery and they have German food.
It's in Namibia.
And don't be prejudiced. We're on
It's
the
Namibia.
ass end of nowhere in this country, dude. Like we can't really we don't have much of a leg to stand on when it comes to like oh, where are you from? Fuck that.
It's near a desert.
So are
I'm
we.
in a desert.
So are we. You know that, right?
I chose to live in a desert. I lived in a nice, lush,
You're
foresty
Dallas.
area and decided to move to the desert.
You're from Dallas, yeah?
Phoenix.
Phoenix, Arizona. Oh, God. Why?
So we are
The
in
monument to
middle
man's
of the
hubris.
Mojave Desert, I think it's called.
Oh.
I really liked their the Sonoran Desert. What desert is this? I really liked their hockey team, even though they're terrible. And I needed somewhere where they would have a lot of public school teaching opportunities, and that didn't exist in my my home state. So I moved out here.
You teach?
Yes, I am a school
Okay.
teacher all day. It's my day job.
Music.
Yeah, so I
or-
still get to be doing music and
or-
choir.
Oh, okay. So you're the music class teacher?
Yes, I was gonna say we probably have a slightly different like arts education program over here than you guys do.
No, we don't.
Tertiary or primary schools?
Teach from kindergarten, which is like age 5, up to 8th grade, which is about age 12, 13, maybe 14 if they've failed the classes.
Okay. Oh yeah, no, I know that your school systems are weird. It's kindergarten to grade 8 most first things, and then grade 9 all the way to 12, and then they pass through.
It totally depends on where you are. My original state was K through 6, then 7 through 12. Some places are K through 4, and then they have a middle school, like a 5 through 8 going on, or it can be any combination. Some places have a school for kindergarten, a school for first grade, school. Like, you can get as broken up or as not broken up as they feel like districting it. Here seems to be K8 though, which is weird to me. I'm used to K6.
We're used to K7.
K7, and then you get 8 through 12.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
because it breaks it up quite nicely, actually.
Yeah, and then the hell.
We all seem to have the same idea. Yeah. I didn't hit that till I was like 24.
I think I still haven't hit that.
I got to be in college and be a waiter. I think being a waiter is when I hit like reality pretty hard.
Oddly enough, it's as soon as I got my first actual like contracted job, because I had to move from the Western Cape all the way up to Gauteng, and I hate this place so much. I'm sorry, like anybody from Gauteng that's listening, I am very, very sorry. This place is terrible.
It sucks.
What kind of place
he's
is it?
Not a traitor. He's been transplanted against his will.
Is it like an industrial area? Is it like a city center?
It's like it is literally the economic hub of South Africa. It is the smallest province in South Africa, but it has twice the amount of people than the rest of South Africa.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you're where I want to be, where things are happening.
No,
you don't want to be here.
Okay. See, the other option for him, the other big city in South Africa.
Making my life choices for me here.
Yeah.
You're making my life choices for me here.
I'm not making it for you. You know where you want to be.
No, please do. Go right ahead. I know
you know where you want to be, man. The other option for a big town, big city in South Africa is Cape Town. Now, Cape Town is run by a more competent municipality, run by a more competent political party. It's incredibly beautiful. The weather's nice. Except like it rains in the winter like the whole time, but there are no thunderstorms, which I like. It's flooded with hipsters, gentrifying incredibly quickly, and traffic is impossible to get into town. So, yeah.
Take the train.
I take the bus.
Once you're in there, you just get rid of your car.
I take the bus because the train. Okay, I took the train for 6 months when I was working in town back in 2014, I think. The train was late maybe 3 or 4 times every 2 weeks. In the roughly year that I've been taking the bus has been late 4 times in total.
Huh, wow.
Honestly, I like the train.
Fuck the train, dude. The train is never on time.
I was always on the train.
Yeah, well, you were on the train on like silly times, like, oh, I need to get into town before midday. I need to get into town before 8. And the train's always packed as shit or late because some asshole tried to throw himself in front of it.
Dude, what do you mean tried? He succeeded.
Yeah, well, he succeeded.
They generally succeed down there.
He succeeded in making... He succeeded in using his last action on Earth to make thousands of people late for work.
So you gotta get like a nice tall building to jump off of or something.
Pro tip. If you want to kill yourself, don't throw yourself in front of a train. Your last action on Earth will be to be an incredible asshole.
I don't know. I mean, you want somebody to notice you did it.
Yeah, well...
Notice me, senpais.
Yeah, well...
All of the senpais.
Well, this is how I like people to get audio clips of me saying horrible things, and then years from now they're like, Pepper says everyone should kill themselves by throwing themselves in front of a train.
Ugh, no, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, if that is the case, then it might actually happen. So, I mean, speaking of which, like with the whole, I mean, I was mentioning it earlier in text chat to you, that entire moniker of Pawdcast.
Oh.
People would think that you're a Pawdcast since, I mean, you've performed with Duke now on 2 occasions, 3 occasions, 7 occasions, 20 occasions, and Fox and Moore.
I tend to be
and-
more Pawdcast adjacent than I am actually that myself.
It's Duke and Pepper. It's
Yeah.
Fox and Pepper.
Well, to be honest, we live in a close enough society, so like close enough. You're there, you're with them.
Yeah.
Like you've made it to the big time because you're sharing the limelight.
Yeah.
It's kind of the best way to do it is to just kind of find a way to contribute to somebody who's already doing well, and then you just kind of ride that.
How do coattails feel?
It's amazing. I keep like transferring from Dukes to like Foxamores. I got to co-stage with Mad Evil once. That was also great.
Like, where was that? That was a prison, right?
Oh, if you take his advertising literally, yeah. His show, he has an actual show where he has there's a plot kind of, and there's like scenes and characters, and it's nice. It's like a little play when you go, and it just happens to also be a concert at the same time.
Mhm.
And his shtick is he does live from Fortran prison, which is in itself, even the title is a joke. But if I explain it, it's no longer funny. But he like pretends, oh, we've been captured by aliens and we have to sing our way out of it, essentially, and it's great. He has a whole
So he puts on a
thing
musical
going on.
every single time.
A low level one, yeah. He has like screens going on with stuff coming up. He has little animations. I don't know how he got all this stuff together. He has a fantastic production. We're talking about Matthew Ebel, by the way. I think I'm going to get to play bass with him at Texas Furry Fiesta this year. So that'll be a big old fun. I kind of play everything poorly.
Most musicians do.
It's the best way to get more jobs that way. Because it's like we need a triangle player. It's like I can figure that out.
Timpani, really? What is this? Okay, you want me to go
Let's
faster?
do it.
Faster? Okay. Should I pace it? You want me to be a drummer? No.
I started out in like 4th, 5th, when I was like 9 years old. I started on percussion because I had asthma, and they said you couldn't play a wind instrument because you have asthma. Then later found out that I should have played a wind instrument because it helps you learn to control your breathing, which helps with asthma.
Wow, who'd have thunk?
Welcome
Everybody
to
was
the
scared
90s.
back then. They're just like, don't move ever. Don't breathe. Just stop.
I mean,
Lay
I was,
down.
like, back in the 90s when I was actually in America, I was diagnosed with ADHD, and I had to take Ritalin, and they took me off of the Ritalin, and I while on the Ritalin, I acted exactly the same way. It was just stupid. I would have
Absolutely
taken
doing
my
nothing for
Ritalin.
you.
It did absolutely nothing for me, which obviously means that there was no brain anything that needed to be calmed down. If anything, I got into more fights on Ritalin than I was off of it.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a thing in the 90s. I kind of just gave it to everybody.
Yeah, I was on Ritalin as well for a while, but then like I was diagnosed with ADHD, but it was more just like a little slow development kind of thing, and like I was taking my pills, and the teacher just told my parents, "Look, he's fine in class. If he needs to be on Ritalin, the entire class needs to be on Ritalin. Just take him off it." And I never looked back.
And then he started getting 80s in class all the time, top 20.
'Cause
And then that other guy came around.
that nerd.
Yeah,
Do you have like a
This-
school rival?
this guy in class. He was in our class. This is actually how I know Scratch from high school. I stalked him. We know this. This has been said on several
Yeah.
occasions.
We're friends because Stockholm syndrome.
Exactly. That's the short end of it. So this guy's in our class, and when he gets 96
You bitch.
and the highest mark in class for accounting, he goes up to the teacher and says, "Where did I lose those 4 marks?" I sat there
You didn't
one
get a
day.
graded paperback?
No, he got his graded paper back. He just wanted to know what he did wrong.
Points were?
He wanted,
I don't know
he
how
wanted
they
to know his
I'd be
mistakes.
arguing that too. I'd be like, hey.
I don't know how I mark papers. I'm also like teacher to teacher here. Like a lot of the time,
Teacher,
a lot of the time,
who really gives a shit about all this?
You kind of sit there going like, yeah, okay, your form's all right. Maybe your grammar's a little bit off. I'll just take off half a mark here. Too bored, need wine. Okay, done.
You can be kind of sloppy if you're giving out good grades. If you start failing people, though, people will start to, like, parents will be, you need to tell me exactly why this grade. And I had a teacher in college where we were comparing marks on, like, an exam we took, and one person's like, well, I got minus 27, and I got a C. You got minus 26, and you got a D. Something is wrong here. So we have to go up, and then she has to, like, defend her grading system, and she didn't even have one, so everyone in that class got an A because I think she got in trouble for, like, not having a plan for her exams.
Nice.
That sounds about right.
We're like, how many points was it worth? And she's like, oh, I don't really know. It's like, wait.
Don't they normally put like a point grade at the bottom? Like this section is out of 24. This
She had
section is
none.
What?
That
So
test
she
could have been
literally-
worth $1 million. She just
would
made
open
stuff
up
up.
paper and just put up correct marks in places because that's exactly what I do with essays.
We think she was drunk. This is also in college where you're allowed to not give as much of a crap. It seems like she was a good voice teacher. She didn't really want to teach any other classes, and they kind of made her teach some. So she phoned it in.
So speaking of vocal training and things like that, like how did you begin to do the whole beatbox thing? Like how did that come about?
My training is I'm technically classically trained. I went to a school where they kind of sort of taught you opera was the goal, classical music, and everything else I've just purely made up and just gotten through feedback from other people. So my voice is weird. It's not as high as it should be to be like a pop singer like I'm trying to be. And it's also not like low enough to. Yeah, nobody likes low male voices right now. Everybody either has to have a high male voice or a low. You're either like Adele or you're like Bruno Mars. You have to have this middle range. So I'm trying to just make up my own little baritone pop groove that hopefully people will like. The beatboxing was totally made up. It came out of I was a amusement park singer for a while in Hershey Park, and we would do like 5 shows a day, little shows in the super heat, and they're like, we need some kind of percussion. Hey, bassist, can you also kind of like boots it, and I'm like, yeah, I can do that a little bit. And then I got a little bit better, and I'm still kind of crap, but just enough that I can set a tempo down if I'm doing my looping stuff live. I would never try to showcase my beatboxing talents because they barely exist.
Beatboxing,
Well, I mean,
quote-unquote talent.
You do well enough to get by.
That's what I feel like my whole life is. I'm doing well enough to get by.
There's a song in there.
Good. That's its own kind of success.
Yeah. It's like I'm doing what I love, and the bills don't stack up all the time. So, you know what? Fuck it, I'm good.
Oh yeah,
And you have
especially in
enough
this-
money to buy a fursuit.
Fuck you.
I did. I save carefully. Well, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
I pay in installments.
Yeah.
Are you actually gonna have one ready for
Yeah.
TwitchCon? Nice.
Yeah. I've seen the updates on it so far. It looks interesting.
Oh, don't be a dick, man.
Oh my God.
What was no? It's still the phone base. So the phone base kind of looks
Alright.
like I had a word for this. I need to just find that chat quick. I had a word for this. I had something for that.
Like a circle with Down syndrome?
Carry on talking. Go. Keep
Go
talking.
get yourself an American-made fursuit. That's where the best ones come from.
Oh sure.
Okay,
Oh sure. Let me.
Yeah, no.
Let me just dig into my infinite bag of money.
The Japanese do not like if you say that. There are a
Really?
lot of Japanese elitist fursuit people who are like, American fursuits look like just shapeless skin bags, because the Japanese ones all have like the body molding and the padding to make things shapes, and they look more like cartoon characters. And American ones kind of look like, the guy in the bathroom sign to indicate that it's the men's bathroom, where it's just kind of a shapeless person shape.
Okay, I remember. I found it. It looks like a Koopa.
A Koopa? Well, were you going for a Koopa fursuit?
No, it's a full fursuit. It's just that it's going through the shaping and everything like that, and it definitely looks like a Koopa head because the inside or the around the eyes and everything like that is green, and around the nose is orange. So it definitely looks like a Koopa.
Just say you're a Koopa.
I don't know. I'll put it on a Zumba and see, or like do Zumba and put it onto a Roomba, and then I'll just call it a. What the fuck am I doing?
I have no idea.
Carry on.
I have no idea what that was.
Oh man.
So I mean, like musically, like say playing with Matthew Ebel and everything like that. I mean, like he obviously has, at least looking at the crowd that he had there, like also a whole bunch of non-furry followers, and I guess that's probably why he keeps his name as it is as well. Or is that actually his name?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's his legal name. I don't think it's a stage name. If it was, it would surprise me. I'm pretty sure that's his actual name. He started out his career. He was in the Christian music circuit. He played in Nashville and did stuff, and then at some point he's like, you know what? I want to write about many different subjects and not just the Lord. So he decided to go off.
Mm.
And I very much enjoy what he's been doing. I want him to be more. He's like the reason I got into. I saw him selling CDs at a convention, and I'm like, so what do you do for work? It's just I did not realize at the time how crappy of a question that is to ask somebody who's trying to be like creative. If you ask an artist like, oh, so what do you really do for your job? But he's like, oh no, this is all I do. I sell CDs, I put out albums, I record some commissions for people. I occasionally do a little bit of like voice acting stuff. I'm like, it didn't even occur to me that was an option. I figured you had to be hired by some big company or like get in a label or tour with some group that was already popular. It never occurred to me, no, you can just like do your own stuff, and some people will pay you for it. And if you're lucky enough to have enough people, that can be your whole job. I kind of wish I had the courage to do that, to just like quit all day jobs and just go for 100% music. But I like the easing into it thing that I'm sure a lot of visual artists also are familiar with, where you still kind of work, but slowly your art takes over until eventually you get to quit one of those jobs.
Yeah.
Or you just kind of keep doing both, so you can still afford your life, but still do your creative stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could always tutor music.
I could, or I could go like full on. I'm a musician and I'm an Uber driver.
that might make for an interesting.
I think I would hate.
Though. Like an
I'd probably get really
music.
good music ideas off of it, like talking to people.
Yeah.
Crap, that should be like the Uber Diaries.
Or make like sort of a like pogo style song with all the conversation that you have with people in Uber in your Uber cars.
Yeah, I would totally like. After every stop, I'd be like taking notes about. Wow, that would work well in a poem. Crap, this is a good idea. Somebody's probably already done this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that MTV's already taken that idea, but minus the music.
Ugh, dude, don't start. Don't make me lament MTV.
It's fine. We just moved the music to the internet, and now it doesn't have a corporate label on it.
And now MTV's shit.
For now.
Hey, another reason I like Bandcamp. If you want to find new music and you don't know where to look for like quality stuff, Bandcamp has some great stuff. They have a like discover feature. You like look at some people, it'll play you something.
Yeah,
and it's great. that's where like the Undertale soundtrack was sold also, which I love. That's where you decided to put it out, and it was like it probably still is the #1 like album currently on Bandcamp is the Undertale soundtrack.
Who did the soundtrack again?
The same dude who did the game.
Toby Fox, right?
Yep.
Wow. Dude is talented.
I mean, with a name like Toby Fox, is he actually a furry? I've never been able to find that out.
We're pretty sure that's just his legal name. Like Michael J. Fox is not a furry. It's just his name.
But Kanye West totally is.
Don't don't.
Kanye, don't make him.
Don't trigger me.
I was getting ready for Salt. I did that on purpose.
I fucking know you did.
I want to think Jason Mraz is. He has a bunch of animal songs. He has this coyote song. I like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, coyotes.
There are a few different coyote songs. Dang.
What's your favorite
Modest
coyote
Mouse.
song?
Modest Mouse is a pretty good coyote song, but I like the Jason Mraz coyote song more so.
So I was asked by a third party in this house to ask you whether you've heard I can't remember what the song name is now. The Chicken Attack song?
Chicken Attack? I don't think so.
That's okay. Good. Don't listen to it. It's
Definitely do not.
it's pretty much either Gangnam Style slash What Does the Fox Say, but
Memes.
done by Shmo Yoho.
Wow. I enjoy Shmoyoho. I think
Yeah.
they're pretty good musicians. They just they just do silly nonsense.
And
Too
then again,
much
that's what
silly
sells. I
nonsense.
mean, Ninja Sex Party's also just like singing songs about dicks and eating food in the shower, like stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't know. Like
Mm.
I like both of those albums. Like Ninja Sex Party and Starbomb. Both of them are pretty cool.
Mm.
Starbomb is actually my favorite out of the two. They're kind of metal, which kind of just like immediately puts me into like a joyful mood.
Hmm.
Metal rap,
Well, Ninja
like the
Sex Party's like,
90s.
yeah, Ninja Sex Party's more just like 80s rock kind of stuff.
They definitely have a very striking sound until you figure out how it works out. And they're like, oh, okay, I get this.
Mm.
Yeah. Yes, I admit I have painted my swing. Now,
Yeah.
now grab your destiny.
Well, guys,
Oh,
I'm about
boy.
to head out and get some food because it is
Okay.
lunchtime for me.
All
I didn't
right,
know
no
if there
problem.
was any last-minute questions from either the chat or you guys, or things I can plug and advertise.
You're more than welcome to plug if
Plug
you'd like
away.
to, actually. Go right ahead. Yeah.
Well, if you have a South African listener base, they aren't going to be able to go to very many of these events. But me and Fox will be playing at like everything. We're at almost all the American cons, unless they happen to be at the same weekend as another American con. We have like 17 or I think we're up to like 20 at this point things. We'll probably be at Eurofurence. If you guys said you had some German listeners, I'm trying to get to Eurofurence, but it'll be like it'll be a weird trip because I'll have to like leave Wednesday night, get there Thursday, maybe Friday by the time I actually get over there, and then leave probably Saturday afternoon. It'll be strange because I still have to work through the week because we start in August for
Sheesh.
some dumb reason. No.
Uh-huh.
If you're in Toronto, we'll be at Fernal Equinox, and we'll be playing a concert outside of the con for the first time ever, like just at a regular venue, me and Foxamore, the Wednesday after Fernal Equinox. And if you want to hear about any of this stuff, follow me on Twitter at Pepper Coyote, spelled just like it sounds, or Foxamore at Foxamore, spelled mostly like FOXAMOORE. I'm at lookleft.us for my music. Or you just Google some things. We're relatively easy to find.
Okay. Great stuff. And then just we do need a soundbite from you after this. Just so maybe just hold on for us for like 10 seconds. I'd just like to thank our listeners, which is Bravura. These people just in the chat at this point. Background Gremlin, Brastos, Rocket Pirate Raccoon, The Old Wolf RSA, Voldy, Wolfie Steelpaw, Doge is listening, and then it's a whole bunch of guests. So guest 291, guest 377, guest 390, guest 554, guest 626, guest 635, guest 677 from Nuremberg,
Always happens.
and also guest 795. Did I call that one? No, I didn't.
I don't know.
795 from Brumfield, Dallas. We've got a very, very good like group of people here. Anything
Those are
from
probably my
Zurich,
people.
yeah, Zurich, Darras, San Luis Obispo, Bellevue.
It gives you towns. That's cool.
Yeah, we know where you live. We will find you. And then on first stream, we've got obviously Pepper. You're on here, Kinkin ZA, and Tempest. First stream, we need to. I don't know. I want to like do something for them, like a frickin' something drive.
Yeah, nice.
Get the money to get them back up and running again. Yeah.
Are they struggling?
They've been. Yeah. Any case.
Okay.
They have been struggling just a little bit. I think they've got a Patreon. If you guys are willing to donate to First Stream side, they're also very, very good for streaming and things like that. Then obviously Fur.fm, if you guys want to go to them as well, they've also got a Patreon. As far as I know, we don't have a Patreon because we like working for free.
Hold on! Hold on.
Okay, fine. I like working for free.
We work for free. I didn't say
Yes,
we
we
like
work for-
working for free. Don't make assumptions. I literally just like smashed escape just to get that out of my face.
Wow. The salt is real.
Quite.
Alrighty, guys. So we're going to be up in about maybe 10 or so minutes with a little bit of music. Obviously, we're going to start off with some of Pepper Coyote's more recent songs. I know that I've only actually received one from you. Maybe there's another one in the email that I somehow
Which one
missed.
did I send you?
Double A Battery.
That's the good one.
Yeah. I was listening. I listened to it when you sent it through. I was like, yeah, no, I would love to listen to this thing like 5 times over.
Yeah, good. It's usually everybody's favorite of my solo material.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Don't die. Okay,
Excuse me. Okay, so we will see you again next week. Obviously, just stick around. Go into furry.fm if you're on first stream. Go to furry.fm if you want to listen to a little bit of music from myself. I'll be doing a little bit of DJ work. Obviously, just metal / rock / Pepper Coyote. Yeah, so keep an eye out. We'll obviously keep you updated about next week's Sunday as to who our guest will be. And yeah, see you guys next week.
Cheers, everybody. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Hi, everybody.